Proteins. What are proteins for? What do they do for you? How you can improve your protein consumption and how that's going to help you lose weight. So guys, protein. Protein is one of those macronutrients which is quite hard to attain for individuals. Some of that is because of the lifestyle that people choose to live, and also some of that is because of their diet. So if there's someone who's a vegetarian, it's hard to get natural sources of protein in because they tend to not eat anything which is from an animal. They might eat eggs, they might eat cheese, they might drink milk, which is great, and you can make up enough protein just through those types of foods. But it is harder compared to someone who eats meat products. Now, the problem with protein is that I have always felt, and when I've been working with people who are either looking to lose weight or they're diabetic, their protein intake is always really, really low. And actually, if you look at the RDA, which is the recommended daily allowance, the RDA is about 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight per day. But that's the RDA. That's basically the lowest amount of protein that you should be having per day to stay alive. But we want to do more than just stay alive. We want to be able to be fit, well, and prosper. When I'm looking to suggest amounts of protein to people, I like to try and keep it nice and simple for them. Basically, what I would say is anywhere between 1.5 and 2 grams of protein per kilo of body weight. And that basically means that all they have to do in their head is the maths. So if someone weighs 80 kilos, then they will roughly need about 160 grams of protein per day. And 160 grams of protein will be quite difficult for some people. And again, that goes to show that they're not getting enough in their diet because it's so hard for them to get into their diet. And most people say, I can't eat all that meat, I can't eat all that fish. But there are other ways to get protein, such as you can have things such as protein supplements. And also, a lot of people don't add that much protein into their meals. If you look at your breakfast, a lot of people actually skip a high amount of protein opportunity, I feel, to be able to add protein into your breakfast. Most people tend to have things like cereal or toast, but those things are carbohydrates. They have got no protein in them. So if you can look at having something like a protein shake, a smoothie, perhaps some eggs, perhaps some smoked salmon, then that actually will up the amount of protein that you need per day. Obviously, they're things that you need to enjoy and that you need to like, but I do feel that when you're looking at meals, actually people don't eat as much protein as they think they do. Again, if you're an 80 kilo individual and you need to be able to consume 2 grams of protein per day, that basically means that you need 160 grams per day. But that also needs to fit into the fact that if you're an active individual and you're 80 kilos, then you probably need 2 grams, if not more. So again, it's very important that you find as much protein as you can within your meals, and perhaps you do something like a tracking app such as MyFitnessPal and track yourself for a few days in the meals that you do choose to eat and see how much protein that you consume within those meals, and see if there's any way that you can up the amount of protein that you need. One more thing about protein, guys, is that any study that has ever been done on weight loss has always shown that the more the individual consumes a higher amount of protein, the lower the overall body weight and the lower the overall fat on that individual, whether it's man or woman. And also, it goes to show that the more active the individual is, the more that that individual will also consume protein as well. So protein is a macronutrient that needs to be considered a little bit more in your diet when you're trying to lose weight.
It's the Yo Party Week.